Welcome to Natural Born Talents. Recently, I had come across a video on YouTube called Haunting Time Slip and Time Travel Stories. I have it listed in the details below. This story reminded me of a very strange experience I had while I was in Kyoto, Japan. I never really told many people about this story because I felt it was just like any other paranormal experience I've had in Japan. But after seeing the video, I realized that other people had the same experience I had, or very, very similar at least. So here's the story. About 15 to maybe 20 years ago, I was living in Kyoto. I had been doing a lot of photography and paranormal investigation there at that time. I have other videos that you can see that are of some of the things that I found in Kyoto. But one of the strangest experiences I had while I was there was I was at a house that was pretty modern, at least by Kyoto standards. And I started hearing two people talking in the next room. Their Japanese was very old Japanese. It wasn't anything that I had been studying. And of course it had piqued my curiosity even more. Being Kyoto, I thought it was just a couple of people practicing some stage performance or some movie or something. But it started to get really weird. I could smell raw tatami, straw mats. I could smell incense. I could hear horses outside and a lot of commotion of people talking and moving about. And I thought that this was kind of odd even for Kyoto. So I went into the next room to investigate, and when I got there, there was no one there. The floor was a modern floor. There was no tatami mat, and there was no incense burning. And when I got there, it's as though the two people that were still there didn't even recognize my presence, because they didn't say anything when I walked in. I couldn't see anyone, but I still could hear the voices. One was a man and one was a woman. The man's voice was low and I couldn't understand anything he was saying. The woman was talking in the way they talked years ago, like the geisha might. In Japanese they say, "Sura, sura, sura, hera, 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 okuchi nasaimasu ka?" Kind of talk, sort of liquid-like. And the more that I looked, the more that I thought it was how odd. I could hear the voices but couldn't see anyone. It's like that they were right in front of me. But soon as I moved forward towards the opposite door to see what was going on outside, it all stopped. I started to feel kind of dizzy, a kind of spacey kind of dizzy. Not like your head is spinning or anything like that, but just kind of like your head is kind of floating like. It's very hard to describe. So I went and opened the far door to the outside, and there was nothing outside. The street was completely quiet. It's like nothing had gone by there for hours. So that being another one of the many paranormal experiences I had in Kyoto, I didn't really think too much about it until I saw these videos. There does seem to be this sense of time not really existing on a linear fashion, but actually coexisting at the same moments. Like, in other words, you have all these different moments happening at the same time, and they sometimes overlap. Maybe like a stage performance is in different periods of time basically happening at the same time, but we think of it as being linear when it's not. Those people talking probably were talking at that point in time as though it was just another moment of their daily lives. And I happened to walk in on them, and they didn't even notice, is the best I could describe it. I wish there was more proof of it. I wish that I could show people more. Having no proof of any kind of that experience, I just buried it in the back of my psyche somewhere. But after seeing this video, that I realized that other people had experienced the same thing. And other people have pointed out a lot of perhaps what they perceive to be hauntings of ghosts. There's actually people just kind of walking over in the very thin fabrics of time between two different points in time. and sort of slipping into someone else's moment. It would be fascinating if we could do this more willingly, or just peek into that. Because the most amazing thing about that experience was to get the feel of what it was like at that time, how people lived so differently the way that they do today. In any case, that was my experience. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, I'd prefer you buy one of my children's books, or maybe one of the mugs that I have online that you can buy. If not, you can make a donation to PayPal, listed below. Thanks again, and I hope to get up more of these videos up soon.